Here's more wrestling news for January 7th, 2022. And your headlines for this afternoon include, recently released WWE employee admits to huge mistakes, Vince didn't even know I worked there, former WWE superstar hits out at company after being let go, Brock Lesnar refused to work with former WWE champion, who did the Beast say no to, real reason why 21-year veteran of WWE was released, WWE returning to Saudi Arabia very soon, former NXT UK champion Walter announces his last match, will AEW reunite legendary tag team following latest cuts, WWE personality announces she's engaged, and more. We are kicking off today with this week's releases as the first names cut from WWE in 2022 have been announced. Scott Armstrong, who served as a referee and producer for the company, was one of the names let go, but this decision may have been down to one match rather than his actions behind the scenes. According to Fightful Select, Armstrong took the blame for some awkward referee spots in the Raw Women's title match at Day 1, which saw Becky Lynch retain her championship against Liv Morgan. Though we can't say that this was the sole reason he was let go, it certainly didn't help Armstrong, who was released alongside his brother Road Dogg Jesse James. A silver lining for Armstrong is that in their report, Fightful noted that one company has shown interest in signing him as a wrestler, and it's worth mentioning that Scott comes from a wrestling family and his father wrestled into his late 70s. Time will tell whether Armstrong gets to wrestle for as long as his father did, but any chances of him doing anything in WWE are now a thing of the past. Another name who left WWE recently is Scotty 2 Hotty, who was released in November 2021 from his role as a performance center coach, but unlike others, he requested to be let go. Although Scotty enjoyed training people over his 5-year run, he has admitted that the mass releases took a toll on him, and in an interview with Chris Van Vliet, said he felt underutilized in the company, especially by the chairman. "They gave me a platform to make a name and do what I'm going to do now, and I am thankful for that. I just don't know if the thought was reciprocated. I don't even know if Vince McMahon knew I worked there. I was on contract for 5 years and they never did anything with me." Since being granted his requested release, Scotty has hit the ground running and has already made an in-ring return, competing at GC4 Die For This on January 1st. With decades of experience, Scotty will be an asset wherever he goes, but after a tumultuous 5 years, his time with WWE is over, not that the chairman will apparently notice. In late 2017, then Universal Champion Brock Lesnar was heading into Survivor Series to face WWE Champion Jinder Mahal. Mere days before the show, however, AJ Styles captured the WWE title from Mahal in a bizarre move that happened on a random episode of SmackDown. Fans never got to see the pre-announced Lesnar-Mahal match, and during Wrestling Observer Radio this week, Dave Meltzer explained why, saying, "You know why they did that? Because Brock did not want to work with Jinder Mahal." Meltzer didn't explain why Lesnar refused to work with the modern-day Maharaja, who has never returned to the main event picture after this title loss. Instead, fans got a fantastic match between Lesnar and Styles, and it was the Beast who would ultimately emerge supreme, but perhaps things would have been much different had he not hindered Jinder Mahal. More release news now, as William Regal was released from his contract in NXT 2.0 after over 2 decades working in WWE. A close personal friend of Triple H and on-screen general manager, Regal also worked behind the scenes of NXT up until a recent decision cost him his job. During Wrestling Observer Live, Brian Alvarez said that Regal had nothing to do in NXT anymore, as there were no plans to have him appear on TV. In addition to this, Regal was no longer being sent to scout indie talent at PWG shows, as WWE has made it clear that they're not interested in signing independent performers for the time being, instead focusing on signing athletes they can mold in their own style. With no plans for Regal on TV and no plans for him to work off TV, WWE decided they didn't want to pay him to do essentially nothing, and the decision was made to let him go. A former Intercontinental Champion and King of the Ring who's been wrestling since his teens, Regal has decades of invaluable experience that would benefit any company. But for now, WWE has decided they are better off without the British wrestling legend. If releasing waves of talent is WWE's most controversial decision in recent years, then their relationship with Saudi Arabia is a close second, but that hasn't stopped the company from making regular appearances in the Middle Eastern nation. After a lengthy hiatus, WWE returned to Saudi Arabia for last year's Crown Jewel, and we now have an idea for when the company will return. Fightful Select reports that WWE is looking at February 19th for the day of their next Saudi show, which has been marked for some kind of event in WWE's internal calendar. February 19th is also a Saturday, which falls in line with the company's new plans to host premium live events on Saturdays instead of Sundays and allows talent a day of traveling and recovery before Raw the following Monday. At this time, this expected Saudi show hasn't been confirmed by WWE and no matches have been hinted at, never mind confirmed. Typically, WWE will use a mix of top stars and legends at these events, and it seems we won't have to wait long before we learn who's making the long trip to the Middle East. Perhaps Walter could make his Saudi debut next month, as the longest-reigning NXT United Kingdom champion is set to leave NXT UK. In an announcement, it was revealed that next week's edition of NXT UK will be his final appearance on the show, with the event being billed as Walter's last stand. The Imperium leader will take on Nathan Frazier in his farewell match, and it's believed that he'll soon be moving to the United States permanently to have a run on the main roster. After signing with WWE, Walter made it clear that he would not leave Europe at the request of his then-wife, but now that the pair have separated, the Austrian behemoth is much more open to the move. As for whether Walter will be heading to Raw, SmackDown, or NXT 2.0 is unclear at this time, but with the 2022 Royal Rumble just over 3 weeks away, the former NXT United Kingdom champion could make an emphatic debut later this month. Now, Road Dogg Brian James was one of the many names close to Triple H to be released from WWE this week, but the former wrestler/producer hasn't wasted time in looking for work elsewhere. On Twitter, a fan asked James, now that he's released, if a reunion with Billy Gunn could be in the works, saying that Road Dogg could be a useful asset in AEW as a backstage producer. Responding, James teased a move to AEW, saying that his light bill isn't going to pay for itself. In a separate tweet, James also made it clear that the account responding is the real him, saying that after losing his job at WWE, he also lost his verified status on Twitter. Verified or not, James moving to AEW makes a lot of sense, as he and Billy Gunn could reform the New Age Outlaws, though we imagine WWE owns that name. Whatever they call themselves, a reunion of one of wrestling's most celebrated teams would be good for business in AEW, and we imagine Tony Khan is weighing up the idea at this time. And we're ending with Sarah Schreiber, who has announced that she is engaged to be married. On Instagram, the WWE correspondent shared the joyous news alongside a photo of her kissing fiancé Chad Dunbar. Schreiber also shared a photo of the happy couple with their puppy, and in their response, the official WWE Twitter account sent their congrats to Sarah, Chad, and this very good dog. Joining WWE in 2018 after a lengthy tenure as an actor, Schreiber can be seen each week on SmackDown, and we'd like to send our congratulations to the happy couple at this time. Well guys, that's our news for today. Please share your comments below. Also hit the like button, subscribe to our channel, and hit the bell icon to receive all notifications. And as always, thanks for watching.